Hey, this is Greg Smith on a Sunday afternoon. Today's video is a another part of that video series on webinar marketing. Steve Jaffe is going to tell you 3 steps in a training in his video on how to eliminate the fear of doing webinar marketing. He's going to explain why you need to be doing webinars for your business and how he's made thousands on doing webinars. Take a look at this video. Share it with your team. If you're not doing webinars, you need to start doing webinars. I'm going to leave a link at the end of this video where you can get information on how to get in some of this training to eliminate the fear of being on doing webinars. This link was going to be on here, either on right on this video or on well, it's going to be on here. So relax, take some notes, and we'll see you in the inside.
Hey, this is Steve Jaffe. In this video, you're going to learn how to eliminate any fear you might have of doing webinars. This is absolutely critical because webinars are the highest converting sales strategy in the entire industry. You're going to get more signups into any MLM opportunity. You're going to sell more of any product or offer with webinars than you will with a sales video, a sales letter, or any other strategy. This is why literally almost 100% of top earners do webinars. I'm telling you flat out, when you can sit down and make $2,000, $3,000, or $4,000 in 90 minutes, which is what you can do with webinars, your life changes. That's what happened to me. My first webinar, I made like $1,200 bucks. I was like, holy smokes. Second webinar, I made like $2,000, and I was off to the races, kept doing them. I've done hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of sales on webinars, cumulatively made as much as $30,000 in 90 minutes on a single webinar, $100,000 in a week just from webinars. You got to be doing webinars to make a full-time income in this industry. Now, in my last video, I talked about how the heightened attention, complete presentation, the authority that you develop when you're doing a webinar is the reason why you're going to get huge conversion rates into whatever it is that you're selling. In this video, we're going to talk about the fear. Here's the deal. I've trained thousands of students on webinar marketing. I've trained a lot of top earners, and my style of training is very, very thorough. I literally teach how to title your webinar. I've got a whole training on that, what your registration page should look like, how do you get people to your registration page, how do you maximize attendance, what do you say on your webinars. I have a 25-point webinar blueprint that's literally soup to nuts, what to say on your webinars, slide by slide. I give away my templates, my PowerPoint slides, I give away my email templates, so people know exactly what to do. I mean, I got it down to a recipe, guys, okay, with very high conversion rates. And when people have fear around doing webinars, what I've discovered is there's 2 types of fears. The first type of fear is feeling unworthy. I don't have results, or I'm not a big expert yet. That's the first type. The second type of fear is not knowing what to do. They're like, you know, they feel like they don't know how to promote a webinar. They don't know how to get enough people to attend. They don't know how to sell in the webinar. Now, in terms of feeling worthy or unworthy, here's the bottom line. Here's the bottom line. People have this idea in their head that you can't start marketing until you're like an expert or an authority. And that is simply not true. A lot of what it comes down to is investing in some education of your own, so you're learning, and then turning around and teaching that. There's a teaching component in a webinar. You really just summarize what you have learned on trainings that you're exposed to in that portion of the webinar. You don't have to originate the training concepts. You just need to be the messenger. Now, if everybody had to be some sort of guru or big-time expert before they did any training, before they taught anything out there, before they marketed it all, no one would do any marketing, right? You got to start somewhere. So this concept that you're not worthy, you need results, none of that is accurate. That's just a story in your head. The second type of fear, which is fear of I don't know what to do, here is what eliminates both of those types of fear. There's 3 things. The first thing is training. Training. Sounds simple, but what I've found is when my students are in an intensive where they're learning webinar marketing with me on live webinars, where they buy one of my courses where they learn webinar marketing, when they get through really just like the first third of the training, like the first couple of modules, I'll ask them and I'll say, if you were feeling fear before you came into this, are you feeling any fear now? And what they invariably say is, over and over again, what I always hear is, Steve, because your training style is so thorough and I'm learning so much about how to do this, I am so much more confident in doing webinars. That's what they say. It's like the training itself blasts away like 95% of their fears. Okay, a lot of the fear comes down to just fear of the unknown, not knowing what to do. And I promise you, when you get trained properly, the fear will go away. I mean, think about when you learned like to drive. You probably had fears around driving, but you take driver's ed, or you get with your father or mother or somebody, and they show you what to do inside the car, and you're driving around with them. By the time you go through that training process, you're good. You're confident to drive. People aggrandize their fear, make it big. It's really just like a splinter. It seems like a big deal, and then you just kind of deal with it with tweezers and pull it out, and you're good. Okay? Fear's not a big thing. The training, I'm telling you, particularly my training style, is very thorough. You are going to feel so rock solid, it's like ridiculous. The second thing that will really address fear, so this will handle like 95% of the fear. The remaining 5% will go away from these two things. Number 2, practice. Practice. If you simply get trained and do a practice webinar with no audience yet, or maybe you invite a friend to get on there just to give you some feedback, you're going to get comfortable using the webinar software. You're going to get comfortable with the experience. Just going through it as a practice webinar will do wonders for your confidence. It really will. Because when you do your live webinar in front of an audience, you've already gone through the material. So practice is really going to help you get comfortable with the tool. If you're like, oh, I hope nothing screws up technically, you'll be good. You'll be good. The third thing that can really, really assist you, if there's any remaining fear, and through these two, we're talking about 99% of the fear is gone. And the final step in the puzzle here is getting feedback. Getting feedback. A lot of times, when I get hired to coach people on webinar marketing, this feedback part of the process really assists them. I will look at their slides. I will look at a recording of their webinar. I'll look at the registration page, and I'll look at their emails. I'll look at their whole webinar funnel, all their webinar marketing pieces that they've developed as a result of my training, and I'll give them feedback. And that will give them confidence. They'll tweak it if they're feeling unsure. Hey, I don't know if this is working well. This feedback from me goes a long way. And the combination of all of these things, getting trained properly, just doing a practice, and I'm not talking like 50 practice webinars. You do a bang out a practice webinar, if you've gotten trained properly, you'll be in really good shape. Now, the experience that my students tend to have is the following. They've got some apprehension coming into the training process. Through the training process, their fear basically goes away. They do a practice session if needed. They get feedback from me. So they're good. They're solid, right? They don't have fear anymore. They do their webinar, and their response is the following almost every time. The two things that they are surprised by is, first of all, they make good money on even just their first webinar. They often will get multiple sales, and they'll make $600 or $1,000, that sort of thing on their very first webinar. And the first thing that they tend to say thereafter was, oh my gosh, that was fun. I can't wait to do my next webinar. Okay? They don't say, well, they're literally like, wow, that was fun. They experience it as fun. And it is. When you are in front of an audience delivering great value and you get sales, you're jacked up. You're excited. Okay? I'm telling you. You're excited. The second thing is they can't wait to schedule their next webinar. They're hooked. Just like I am. Okay? That's what happens. And so trust me in this process. These things, you get trained by me, you do a practice session, you get some feedback from me, you are going to be solid. Now really open your mind up to the possibility here, because fear is not an objection to doing this at all. Flat out, it is just not. I've realized that it goes away a lot faster than people think because of these things. So just open up your mind to how powerful it's going to be when you sit down and in 90 minutes you've got $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. I mean, I have made a full-time income from just doing webinars. It's just a huge part of my business. I mean, it's so powerful, guys. If you've got a mortgage payment, or you got to send the kids to summer camp, or you got to make a car payment, or you've got a wedding you've got to fund for a daughter, and you can do a few webinars and make several $1,000s quickly. That's really powerful stuff. This is the opportunity. This is why every top earner does webinars. And I'm telling you flat out, we've got you covered with the fear thing. You're going to be courageous. You're going to be solid because of this. You'll just be good. You'll be good. Stay tuned to my next training video. I'm excited. I got more for you about webinar marketing. That training video will be coming out very, very soon.